Hi everyone, my name is Kaz and here are some of the readathons happening in 2019. Before I jump into the list, I have a couple of pieces of important information. Firstly, about how to stay up to date with the readathons, because obviously this is not going to be a comprehensive list. There are going to be some new readathons created and previous ones organised again throughout the year, but I also just wanted to address some of the unconfirmed readathons that I'll be mentioning. I have listed some readathons that don't yet have specific dates. Most of these I have heard directly from the hosts that they are likely to be hosted at some point during 2019, and I've indicated the month or season they are likely to happen in. But there are also a few annual readathons that I haven't had any confirmation, but I'm guessing will occur in 2019. So if any of these readathons without confirmed dates yet sound interesting to you, I would definitely recommend checking back on those different readathons' official channels for more information closer to the likely dates. As for staying up to date, I do update the calendar as I hear of new readathons throughout the year. If you would like to stay in the know and hear about the upcoming readathons, I would recommend following @Readathon News on Twitter and turn on notifications. I post monthly threads of the readathons happening with all the information and links, and I also post updates about future readathons that I add to the calendar. You can also follow my blog, littlebookowl.com, and that's where I have the main calendar. So I list all of the readathons in chronological order, and I also have a visual calendar at the top of the post. And this calendar actually allows you to subscribe, so you can get email notifications when new readathons are added. Everything that I mention in this video today is going to be included in the description of this video. However, due to character limits and how many readathons there are, I cannot include links for all of them. So if any sound interesting to you, go to the readathon calendar on littlebookowl.com. All of the links will be there. Now let's jump to the fun part of the video, the readathons. I've organised these according to length, so if you're only interested in 24-hour readathons or you're only interested in week-long readathons, you can skip to the point in the video where I talk about those using the timestamps below. Otherwise, you're welcome to watch this from start to finish. Without further ado, here we go. 24-hour readathons. First up, we have the Dewey's 24-hour readathon, which happens twice a year, once in April and once in October. The first round will be held on the 6th of April, and it starts at 8 AM Eastern Time. If you want to find out what this start time is in your time zone, I have a link in the description which will automatically convert it for you. There are no reading challenges, but they do post hourly updates on their website with things like mini challenges and giveaways. Book Crossing's 24-hour readathon is happening for the first time, and it is hosted by bookcrossing.com, which is a bookish social networking site. This is running for 24 hours from 12 AM Pacific time on the 14th of April. And again, if you want to find out what the start time is for you, there is a link in the description. 24-hour readathons that are yet to be confirmed, we have the 24-hour Readathon hosted by Boston's Books, and this is likely to happen in June. The 24-hour-a-thon, which happens every few months, and there's also the Readathon by Zoe. Again, this also happens every few months. Not too long ago, Zoe posted a bit of an update saying that she wouldn't be hosting this for a few months because life, but this may potentially return in 2019. Readathons that are 2 to 5 days long. The 24 in 48 readathon. The aim of this is to read for a total of 24 hours within a 48-hour period. This one tends to happen every few months, and the first round of 2019 will be from the 26th until the 27th of January. To be confirmed, we have the Dearathon, which I host with my friend Red from Little Red Reader. This is an impromptu readathon which can last anywhere from 24 hours up until a few days. We typically tend to do a weekend or long weekend type readathon. The Respawnathon is a 3-day readathon which is video game inspired. Week-long readathons. The Bout of Books readathon happens 3 times throughout the year. First up is from the 7th until the 13th of January, then there's the 13th to the 19th of May, and then the 19th until the 25th of August. There are no reading challenges, but they often host daily blog challenges. The Biannual Bibliothon happens 2 times throughout the year. The winter round in January is running from the 12th until the 18th. The summer round will be announced later on in the year, and for this there are reading, photo, video, and blog challenges. InLoveaThon is a Valentine's Day inspired readathon happening from the 10th until the 16th of February. ContemporaryAThon is a readathon about reading contemporary books. This is being hosted from the 11th until the 17th of February. Elementathon is a brand new readathon inspired by the elements, and this is going to be hosted from the 6th until the 14th of April. Borrowathon is all about reading borrowed books, and this is running from the 19th until the 26th of May. Euphoriathon is a readathon hosted by Georgia from Reading Euphoria, and this is running from the 20th until the 26th of May. The current Readathon is all about reading books that you're currently reading. At this stage, there are 2 confirmed dates. There's the 27th of May until the 2nd of June, and from the 2nd until the 8th of December. To be confirmed, we have the Yearathon, and this one is definitely going ahead. This is hosted once a month, and each month they have a different theme. I think last year they also introduced a challenge as well, so they'd have one theme and one challenge per month. They will be announcing the dates and all of the themes very soon. Alphabethon is a series of readathons. Each one focuses on a specific letter, and during that run of the readathon you need to read books that have a title that starts with a certain letter, or the author's name can also start with that letter. So each new round progresses one letter through the alphabet. At some point in March they will be hosting a round focusing on the letter H, and in July they'll be hosting a readathon focusing on the letter I. The eBookathon is a readathon all about reading ebooks, and this is likely to be held sometime in spring. The Witchathon is going to have 4 rounds, each is going to be timed around a different Sabbath. So there will be a readathon in March, July, October, and December. The Disney Read-Along is a Disney-inspired readathon, likely to happen in May. The Scallywagathon is a pirate-themed readathon, and this one they've been doing kind of reading challenges where you move along certain paths on a map. This one should be held in May. The Reading Rush, which was previously known as the Booktubeathon, so this includes reading challenges, video challenges, and photo challenges. However, it sounds like Ariel and Raylene are working really hard to make this bigger and better, so there's likely to be some really exciting things in store. This one does happen in summer. The Debutathon is all about reading books from debut authors and will likely happen sometime around June, July. Let's Be Mermaids is a mermaid-inspired readathon, and this one typically is held in August. The Banned Bookathon is a yearly readathon all about reading banned and challenged books, and it always coincides with Banned Books Week. This is one that I host. As I'm filming this, the dates have not yet been announced for Banned Books Week, but it's likely sometime in September. The Latinx-a-thon is a readathon all about reading and celebrating Latinx authors and literature, and this one is likely to be held in September or October. Spooktober is a week-long readathon that is part of a greater month-long Halloween extravaganza, so obviously this one is happening in October. Spookathon is an annual thriller mystery readathon, again will be hosted around October. A Very Merry Readathon is a holiday-themed readathon likely to happen in December. The End of Yearathon is a bit of a last chance reading push, so this one will happen towards the end of December. Because Dragons Readathon is a fantasy-themed readathon. This one is generally 1 week long, but sometimes they do mini rounds, and it tends to happen every few months. We also have the Readorama, which happens every few months. The K-Popathon is a readathon inspired by different K-pop idols. The Mangathon, which is about reading manga, and the Musicathon, which is a music-themed readathon. Readathons that are 10 or more days. The Fairytaleathon is a fairy tale-themed readathon. This is running from the 1st until the 10th of February, and the challenges will be announced in January. The Seasons of Reading. So this is a series of readathons. Each year they host 2 2-week-long readathons and 4 month-long readathons. I'll get to those a little later. As for the readathons that run for 2 weeks, the Sci-Fi Summer Readathon is about reading sci-fi books, and I think they do also allow fantasy. This runs from the 1st until the 14th of June. The Christmas Spirit Readathon is a holiday-themed readathon which runs from the 25th of November until the 8th of December. To be confirmed, we have the series Crackdown, which is all about reading and finishing series. This is likely to be held in February. The Audiobook-a-thon is all about listening to audiobooks, and this is likely to be held in March. The Magical Readathon. So this is a series of readathons all inspired by Harry Potter. Each of the readathons actually differ in length, but it does sound like it's going to have a similar setup to what it was in 2018. So I'll just run through how it worked in 2018, and that's likely what you can expect for the Magical Readathon in 2019. So first up we have the Owls Readathon, which happened in April for about 4 weeks. The Newts Readathon was a month long in August. There's the Extra Credit Readathon, which is a week long in October, and the Christmas at Hogwarts edition, which was 10 days long in December. The one readathon to rule them all. Exact dates have not yet been announced, but we have 2 readathons pretty confirmed. First up, at some point in May, there will be a round which is Game of Thrones themed, and then in November there should be a round that is Harry Potter themed. The Adventure-a-thon is a choose your own adventure Readathon. The first time this was held, it was 12 days long, and that coincided with Christmas, so I'm not sure if that's going to be replicated in future rounds or if it might differ in length. Hopefully we should get some more information on that soon. Excuse the sunburn, but I just realized I forgot to mention one of the readathons that I help co-host. Shame on me. We also have the Tome Readathon. So this is a 2-week long readathon all about reading books that are over 500 pages. This one tends to happen about 2 or 3 times a year. Finally, we have readathons that are 1 month or over. The Late-a-thon is all about reading review copies and or arcs that you have and have not yet read, and this is going to be held in January. Books and Munches hosts reading challenges every single month, so that's 12 different challenges. January Jam Jar. So for this one, you're supposed to create your own TBR jar and use this to pick out what books you're going to be reading next. Fantastic February is all about reading fantasy books. Monstrous March is about reading thrillers, horrors, and suspense novels. Contemporary April is about reading contemporary books. Moody May is about reading books that you're just in the mood for, so don't worry about all the books that you have to read for one reason or another. Just pick up books you're in the mood for. Jazzy June is about rereading books. Sci-Fi July is about reading sci-fi books. Avid August is about reading books that you've previously put on TBR piles but just haven't yet gotten around to. Sequel September is about reading sequels. Owntober is about reading books you already own. Remember November is all about focusing on trying to complete some of the challenges and goals that you set yourself for the year. And lastly, there is Diverse December, which is about reading diverse novels. Tome Infinity and Beyond is a sci-fi readathon that is happening twice next year, once in January and once in September. The Seasons of Reading, which I mentioned before, has 4 month-long readathons. The Winter's Respite Readathon is happening in January. This has no requirements. Spring into Horror is happening in April, and for this one you must read 1 or more scary books. The High Summer Readathon is happening in July. Again, this one has no reading requirements. And the Frightful Readathon is happening in October. Again, for this one, you must read at least 1 scary novel. Read-a-thon is a readathon all about reading thin books and will be happening a few times in the year. There will be rounds in February, May, August, and November. The Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda is a month-long readathon all about reading books that you intended to read or said you would read, but didn't get round to doing it. So this is going to be held twice next year, once in February and once in August. The Irish Readathon is all about reading Irish literature and will be held in March. The Hamilthon is a Hamilton-inspired readathon. This is going to be held in March. To be confirmed, we have the March Mystery Madness. This is an annual mystery readathon. Arc August is all about reading review copies and arcs. The annual Harry Potter readathon is one that happens over a couple of months, and it's all about reading different Harry Potter books. You can read the whole series, you can read the additional books in the Hogwarts library, things like that. Non-fiction November is all about reading non-fiction books. The BFF Readathon is a readathon all about reading books that focus on friendship. So those are the readathons that I know about that are going to be happening in 2019. Obviously, there are going to be some that I've missed, have not yet heard about, or just forgot. So if you are hosting a readathon and would like to submit it to the calendar, I have a really handy submission form which you can fill out with all the details, which makes it easy for me to find more information about the readathon. I would love if you could fill that out if you host one. If you don't host a readathon, so don't know all the information but have heard about one that's happening, please leave a comment in the description below. I would like to add as many to the readathon calendar as I possibly can. And like I mentioned, I'll be updating it throughout the year, so don't forget to follow Readathon News on Twitter and littlebookowl.com. You can actually subscribe to the visual calendar there. But that about wraps up this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you find this useful. I'll see you very soon in a new video, but until next time, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye!